in its index, economic activity index. However, there are various economists who says that this is not for the first time that India has witnessed the technical recession. Rather, this is the fifth technical recession. But the difference between RBI and the economist is that RBI simply says RBI consider technical recession, and we are going to believe the terms whatever RBI has says. Okay, RBI consider technical recession which is of 2 quarter. Do you remember we already have discussed this thing, no? That if recession continues for 2 quarter, that particular thing is called as inflation. Recession, that particular thing will be called as technical recession. But previously what used to happen, and that other economists claim that previously India was also, India has already witnessed the recession, but that was for 1 year. Okay. And this 1 year time period, according to few economists, not all, but according to few economists, this may be considered as technical recession. Okay. But in RBI has denied this particular thing, and RBI clearly says that no, technical recession is something which goes only for the 2 quarter, which is 6 months. All right. So technically speaking, this is the first technical recession according to RBI, and we are going to believe it. Is this clear, Shubhra? Kanchi, this is economic activity index in which RBI has mentioned this particular thing. Okay. Economic activity index. Clear? All right then. So anyone having any question, any doubt that you want to ask regarding the topic that we have discussed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have texted me or mailed me?
I just wrote in the comments that you haven't sent my answers. You were saying that you'll send it last Saturday, then even this Saturday, and I still haven't received them.
I'll send you by 7 p.m. today. All right?
Okay.
Anji, by 7 p.m. you will receive.
Sir?
Yeah, yes, Kanchi.
Sir, I have doubt. Sir, as I was reading on web about deflation and disinflation, so I found online that disinflation is when inflation.
Where you were reading?
Sir, on Google.
Okay.
So, sir, it's written that disinflation is when inflation increases at a slower rate. So, what does it imply? I didn't get it.
Disinflation, there it might be having, see, first of all, my humble suggestion to you all that follow standard source only. Okay, market is flooded with material, market is flooded with things, so in many a times you won't find the correct thing, which is the actual one, which is the real one. Okay, so just follow the standard source instead of running from pillar to post. Just stick to one source, have faith on that particular source, and follow that source only. Okay, this is the first thing.
Sir, but okay, yes, sir, sorry. But yes, sir, actually, I found this is written on Google, definition of disinflation. So everywhere it's coming like disinflation is the that inflation decreases at a slower pace or temporary decreases.
And what we have discussed in the disinflation?
So as we discussed, disinflation is the like of deflation, but for a shorter period of time.
For a shorter period of time, correct. It runs only for a shorter period of time. And what they have mentioned?
So they have mentioned disinflation. Yes, inflation increases at a slower pace.
Okay. So,
but sir,
so see, yeah, yes, Kanchi.
Yes, sir. Sir, I mean कि उसमें लिखा है कि inflation increases at a slower rate.
I got it. Inflation increases at a slower rate. Now see, we have also discussed that it is for shorter period. What does this mean? Shorter period will remain only for few time.
Yes, sir.
Right? And if the time increases, okay, the same will happen with the rate also. Rate will also increase. Isn't it? If it will increase, अगर देखो आज है in the month of April. Okay, if this inflation is there, if you have the inflation in the month of April and in the month of May, you may call it disinflation. but when it long laster, ठीक है, when it is a long lasting, then we will change its characteristic. अब ऐसा थोड़ी ना कि हमेशा 5%, 5% पे रहेगा, अप्रैल में भी 5%, मई में भी 5%, जून में भी 5%. No, this is not going to happen. No, obviously it will rise. That's why there will be a situation when there will be hyperinflation. तभी तो जाकर के फिर hyperinflation वाले भी आएंगे, है ना? The hyperinflation will also come. So the thing is what, that disinflation is nothing but when it remains for a shorter period of time. ज़्यादा time period के लिए नहीं रहता. And yes, it is true that when it crosses that particular time period, then obviously its rate will also increase. Inflation का जो rate है, inflationary rate भी increase होगा तब. It is quite obvious.
But sir, my question is, as we have discussed, deflation and disinflation means that persistent decrease in the price of the commodities, price of the goods. So here it is written that disinflation is when inflation increases. So inflation
disinflation.
Yeah. I will send you the screenshot that we are making.
Yeah, please do that.
Okay. And so one more thing,
please.
There's one line, actually I didn't get this. A positive impact of deflation could be increased export competitiveness if most other economies are experiencing inflation.
Here you can see the definition of disinflation that we have discussed.
Yeah, it's the same definition, but as you have explained now, the thing is that you have explained that price will decrease of the commodities persistently.
It will slow
but
down.
Here is it.
So actually, whatever she's saying, even I went through the same confusion actually, because when you were explaining, sir, you emphasized on the fact that, between disinflation and deflation, there is the time period, that is the main thing. However, what we read, and even this definition that you were showing just now, that is something different. Like disinflation is something more related to inflation, like when inflation is decreased, the rate of inflation is decreasing, that is disinflation, whereas deflation is the opposite of inflation.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So this is the thing that we have also I believe discussed, isn't it? Therefore, see, the thing is what is in the disinflation and deflation. When there will be the declining rate, here also it is written, है ना? ये हमारा क्या होगा? It is the declining rate. Here you have the inflation. It is not the inflation, rather it is the opposite. And opposite in the sense, in the inflation, what happens? There is a price rise, but in the disinflation or deflation, the price is coming down. Is this clear? So here, please consider that in deflation, just a minute, in deflation and in disinflation, or in other terminologies, okay, it is the price which is coming down. यहाँ पे price क्या हो रहा है? Coming down. Price नीचे की ओर जा रहा है, and there is a difference in the rate. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Different rates. So this is how these are classified.
Yes, sir. This was clear. The only thing was that you actually mentioned while explaining that disinflation is something that is for 3 months, and when it persists, it becomes deflation. That is what
I did that purposefully because that is only important from examination point of view, right? Because in the examination, they will only ask you the difference in this particular thing. Though they do not ask the direct question related to it, but these terminologies are very important if you will study, once we will start studying our monetary policy. Okay, then these topics will become important. So from that perspective, these things become important. And this time period is only important. Okay, its classification is, however, is good, that you need to understand, but you should pay more attention towards its time period, because these things are being classified on time period only, right? So here also it is coming down, okay, and in inflation it is going up. I hope this confusion is clear. Chalo, yes, Kanchi, you are asking also something else, or भी कोई question था आपका? So now we will consider only about India. Okay. So other countries, yes, Pakistan have also witnessed the technicalization. Pakistan ने भी witness किया है, ठीक है. Even developed countries like US, UK have also witnessed the same. But we will consider only about India. Definitely, if deflation will be there, then our export will increase, isn't it? How it will increase? Okay, yeah, definitely. See, if deflation is there, that reflects what? You have less demand, right? And if you have less demand, but you have supply is high, supply high hai, demand less hai. This is the thing. So that reflects that you have maximum number of goods. Okay, that means the quantity of goods are high. So if the goods are in higher quantity, then definitely that will be helpful for exporting to other community, to other country. है ना? अब एक बात बताओ. So you have 1 liter of milk. है ना? आपके पास 1 liter milk है. Okay. So you need 1 liter of milk for your consumption. But once you will have the 2 liter of milk, okay. So if you will have the 2 liter of milk, so will you need 1 liter extra for consumption? No, you won't need it. So you will have 1 liter to for export. Okay, so you can export the remaining 1 liter of milk. So this is the thing. Okay, so if the quantity is in larger supply and if the demand is less, then in that particular situation, the export will undoubtedly increase. Government will actually promote the export. Okay, all those things that we will also discuss in our fiscal policy, that how government tries to control the inflation and deflation in this particular situation. Okay, so in the deflationary situation, government will surely promote the export, that the commodity should go out. Otherwise, the price will continue to fall. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, but we have discussed now that deflation helps in increasing our that foreign exchange, like while we are doing import, and it will have a bad effect on our exports. So
deflation.
Yes.
That we have discussed in inflation. That will happen on inflation. In deflation, actually export will be promoted. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely, if deflation will be there, then you will have more foreign currency at your disposal, right? So this is the thing. Foreign currency will be there. Clear? Is this clear, Kanchi? Your doubt? Yes, Janvi. What's your doubt?
Yes, sir. So, if you remember, you taught us that term, the crowding out effect, right? So, I read that in today's newspaper as well. So, I just wanted to get a clear picture of its effect on inflation. Like, how does it lead to, rise in prices? That and also interest rates. How does that affect inflation?
Definitely. Interest rate is something that we will discuss in the monetary policy. Now, see, in the crowding out effect, what happens? It's the government who takes the money from bank, and the banks they are left with less amount. Okay? So they do not have enough money to give it to the people, and if they do not have enough money, okay, then there will be less private investment. Okay? And if we have the less private investment, then what will happen? Then the infrastructure development private infrastructure development will be low. Government may see, if the government is taking money, so government may utilize that particular money for other purposes also. It is not necessary that the government will give that particular money to the people only, right? So government may utilize for any other purposes. But if the private entity are taking, so private entity will definitely invest something in the market, right? So market then will be flooded with the money. Okay, so if the crowding out effect takes place, so in that particular situation, market will have less money with themselves. So that will have less investment. So if there is less investment in the market, so inflation will be low. That is, maybe deflation might arise. Okay, and the in this particular situation, the RBI will simply try to decrease the interest rate. Okay, interest rate would be decreased. Okay, so that the banks, they will take more and more loan from the RBI, and hence the people eventually will get the more money. These things that we will be explaining, these things regarding interest rate and other things, we'll be discussing in our this thing, that is monetary policy. Okay, but till now, please focus on that. If the crowding out effect takes place, then the market will have less money. Why market will have less money? Because the government will pull out the money from from the banks. So banks will have less money available to offer to the public. Okay, and that will result into the less private investment, and hence inflation will come down. Okay, and hence there is a chance that deflationary situation may arise. Clear, Janvi? All right. Yes, further thing we'll be discussing in our next classes. Okay, because this is not the topic of our this particular thing.
So,
yeah, yes, Kanchi.
So could you please explain that how deflation helps in exports and will have a bad impact on that imports?
Deflation.
Deflation.
This is what that we have discussed now recently. Now see, just deflation means what? Kanchi, what do you understand by deflation?
It's just a persistent decrease in the price of the goods. And
so why the prices are decreasing?
Less demand.
Less demand is there. Very good. So if the demand is less, that means what will happen with the supply? Supply is high.
Yeah, supply will be high.
Supply is high. It means that you have, goods are in goods ka quantity kya hai? The goods are in good quantity, isn't it? So there is a quantitative increase in the goods.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you have excess of anything, what you will do? You will simply throw it out in the dustbin, or you will give it to someone.
We'll give it to someone. Will export.
You will give it to someone, definitely. So if you do not have the demand in your country, right, in your country, in India, then what will happen? What you will do? You will definitely give it to some other country.
Yes.
So then export will increase or not?
Yeah, export. And how? Okay. And sir, you told now that in inflation, that our foreign exchange will increase. So how is it?
Foreign exchange will increase in the inflationary situation. Yeah, foreign exchange will increase. See, foreign exchange will get low. Okay, our foreign currency will decrease. Okay, the amount of foreign currency will decrease in the inflationary situation. How it will get decreased? Because see, you have more demand in the inflationary situation. You have more demand.
Yes.
Okay. So if the demand is more, that also means that supply is less. Okay.
Yes.
If the supply is less, so what you will want? You will try to increase your supply or not?
Yes.
You will increase your supply. If the goods are not being available in the market, because if the supply is less in your country, that reflects that the production is less, isn't it? And you cannot increase the production overnight. So for that particular purpose, you will ask your neighbor Bangladesh that please, I need this particular product as the supply is less or not. You will ask for that particular product from your neighbor country or any other country or not. If the supply is less, then in order to meet the demand, then import will increase or not?
Import will. So sir, what a foreign exchange means here?
Just a minute. If the import will increase, so that reflects what? That you will get the commodity, right?
Yes.
Let's say from Bangladesh. Okay. And what you will give? They will not give you free of cost. You will give them currency.
Amount, money. Yes, sir, currency.
Currency will be given. So here, the foreign exchange is going on what? You are importing the product, whereas you are giving the currency.
Okay, so foreign exchange will decrease.
Foreign exchange will decrease. Why it is decreasing? See, what do you understand by foreign exchange? What do you mean by foreign exchange? Exchange
I
मतलब
want
क्या समझते हो बस? Exchange मतलब क्या समझते हो ये बताओ?
just exchange means exchange of things or price currency.
Exchange means suppose that
Giving someone
you
or
have a
taking
friend.
something.
Yeah, giving something and taking something. That is the meaning of exchange. And if the word foreign is attached, so that means you are not doing it domestically. You are doing it
Yes,
outside, right?
yes,
So
sir.
here in this particular situation, we are taking something and giving something or not.
Yes, sir.
We are taking what? We are simply taking the commodity
And
and we are
giving
giving
a
them the currency.
currency.
So here, in order to balance the demand and supply, you will go for more or more import or not.
More imports, so it will lead to decrease in foreign exchange, right?
How?
Because we
Again,
are giving,
we have discussed that foreign exchange is what? Taking something. See, what your foreign exchange not only means that exchanges of goods, you are also giving now free में ले रहे हो क्या? Are you
no,
taking this
no.
free of cost?
I'm saying that we are giving the currency, right, to
Yes.
Bangladesh and we are importing a good or commodity, any
Yes.
commodity.
Yes.
So we are giving the currency, so it means that for we are
Currency
means
will come down.
currency
we
will
will
come
have
down.
we will have less currency, less foreign currency,
Okay, but
isn't it?
increase in foreign exchange.
Foreign exchange will be there,
Okay.
isn't it? But currency is less.
So there is no such thing like increase in foreign exchange or decrease in foreign exchange.
Yes, it is about the increasing currency.
Okay, increase in currency because
Increase.
when we are exporting something, then I will say we foreign exchange is there.
Foreign exchange will be there. But see, in that particular thing, what will happen? We have something which is in excess, which is extra. If we will not export it to another country, then we will be left with no other option but to dump it into the dustbin, isn't it? So that is beneficial for us because we have something which is in extra.
Okay.
Is this clear?
And so one more doubt I
Yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah. Please.
Sir, as we know, the deflation is like that persistent decrease in the price of goods.
Yeah.
So if there like when we go to mall or any like showroom, there maybe there is offer like buy one get one or any discount. So it is because of deflation.
No, absolutely no. That's the offer that they give. Okay, that
So
is about the cost of production. You can say marketing strategy. Definitely, that you can say the marketing strategy. They are simply doing this in order to attract the customer. Have you ever seen iPhone, who have the established brand, who have decreased their price?
yes, sir.
When they will decrease the price? When they will launch the new product.
No new product, yeah, they
Isn't
decrease.
it? When the new product will come into the market, then they will decrease the price of the older product. So if people are those who are purchasing the new product, so they can get the customer base for older product, isn't it? So
Okay.
these are nothing, just the market tactics.
Okay, so it is no impact of deflation.
Oh, absolutely. Now, as of now, you can see we have the inflation, and many a times you will be finding the off 70%, 80% off on Mintra.
Yes.
You might be doing shopping, you all, isn't it? यहाँ से करते हो
Yeah.
क्या shopping? तो मिलता है, so
Yes,
that is
sir.
what, that is just to promote Mintra, isn't it?
Okay.
That is not about that there is deflation in the market. Okay, that is about
Okay.
promoting Mintra. That they just want to
Okay.
sell something at a cheaper rate. As simple as it is. That is their goods. That is their business. They want to sell it. Do you remember that when Jio came into picture? Jio distributed the SIM card free of cost, isn't it? Do you remember? 2016. I think in 2016 Jio was launched. In that particular year, Jio simply distributed 2016 or 2015. Okay, Jio simply distributed their SIM cards free of cost with 1 GB per day data. आप लोगों में से किसी ने लिया था उस टाइम पे? Okay. So this is what, that was simply the market strategy. Jio ने वो market के लिए किया था. And now Jio has one of the largest market share in India, actually largest if I am not wrong. Absolutely, Sapna, that in the inflationary situation also, if the inflation is high, then economy is not going to help, that it will not be helpful in economy. And if the price is low, obviously economy will be in loss. That will not, economy will definitely be in loss. वहाँ पे तो कोई help मिलेगी नहीं. ठीक है? So deflation will not help economy to prosper, to grow. Okay. Chalo. All right. Any other doubt? Anyone? Sub clear hai? Okay. So whatever thing that we have discussed till now, is this clear to all? All right. So these things are clear to 3 of our students, that is Janvi, Subra, and Kanchi. And I will consider that rest of the people are not clear with the inflation, and they are not at all interested in clearing their doubts. Right? So I'll be happy with it. All right then. So I'll consider that rest of the people doesn't exist in class. Will that be okay? क्या ये सही रहेगा? फिर से मौन व्रत. अरे सावन में लोग व्रत करते हैं, सोमवार का व्रत करते हैं, मौन व्रत नहीं करते हैं, है ना? और आप लोग तो सावन का 365 डेज, है ना, एकदम चुप. आप लोग के घर में तो एकदम शांति रहती होगी, खामोशी. आप लोग को भी 2-3 साल हो जाते होंगे अपनी आवाज सुने हुए. ऐसा हुआ है कभी कि आप लोगों ने बोला हो और लगा होगा कि अरे ये मेरी आवाज है? पहचान लेते हो अपनी आवाज को आप लोग? बताइए. या नहीं, भूल जाते होगे ना कभी कभी. आप लोग को तो ऐसा लगता होगा कि ओ शिट यार, इज दिस माय वॉइस? मेरा वॉइस क्या? आप लोग रिकॉर्ड करके रखो अपनी आवाजों को, है ना, क्योंकि 2-3 साल के बाद तो आप लोग बोलोगे, है ना. तो 2-3 साल के बाद बोलने पे समझ में नहीं आएगा कि किसकी आवाज है, इसलिए रिकॉर्ड करके रख लेना. ठीक है? और देखना, डर वर मत जाना, क्योंकि काफी टाइम के बाद आवाज सुनोगे अपनी तो क्या पता डर जाओ. ठीक है? इसलिए सब लोग, बाकी जो लोग हैं सब लोग एकदम आवाज, 3 लोगों को छोड़ करके अपनी आवाज को रिकॉर्ड करके रख लेना. चलो, फ्लिप कर्व क्या है बताओ? व्हाट इज फ्लिप कर्व? Yes, Kanchi.
So flip curve is the inverse relationship between the inflation and the unemployment.
What will happen in this?
It's an inverse relationship between inflation and that unemployment. If inflation increases, there is inflation, so it will lead to unemployment in the society or economy of the country.
If there is inflation, there will be unemployment in the society. Very good. Is this what that you are saying, Kanchi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Janvi, is she correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if there will be inflation, then there will be unemployment. Okay. Sure. Sindhuja, can you please explain whether they are correct or wrong?
According to the Phillips curve, it's right that unemployment is inversely proportional to inflation, but there could also be situations of stagflation where there's slow economic growth and high unemployment when it's accompanied by inflation.
What is inversely proportional?
As in, like, when inflation increases, there is less unemployment.
Yes. And what they were saying?
I don't know. What did they say? I wasn't clear though. So
okay. So you are sleeping.
No, I was awake, but I don't understand. Like, the voices wasn't clear to me.
Okay, so that's a good excuse.
So, I think she said unemployment, right?
Sorry?
I think she said unemployment. That's what I thought. Like, it's an inverse relation between inflation and unemployment.
Yes.
So that's.
Yes, sir. I said unemployment.
You said unemployment.
So that's right now.
Inverse relationship is right. But the next statement that you made, that once there will be inflation, there will be high unemployment also. This is also that you said. This is absolutely correct. That it's the inverse relationship between inflation and unemployment. But while explaining, both of you mentioned that once inflation will be there, then there will be rise in the unemployment.
I said yes. I did not explain, sir.
Sorry.
I just said yes. You only asked me if Kanchi is right, and I said yes.
Okay, चलो ठीक है, दोनों सही हो, हाँ? But remember this particular thing. If there will be inflation, okay. If inflation is high, ये है आपका inflation. If inflation is high, employment, okay, 10 बार रट्टा मार लेना. Employment low, employment will be high. Inflation high, remember this graph, okay. Remember this graph only. This is what flip curve says. ठीक है, inflation high रहेगा, employment high रहेगा. Explain me why. Explain करो.
So
Explain me why. If inflation will be there, then why employment will be high?
so may I?
Yes, go ahead. आप ही 3-4 लोग ही तो जो बोलते हो, बाकी सब तो मौन रखते हैं. कभी-कभी हम वो अपनी आवाज सुनते हैं. कभी-कभी वो एक्चुअली बोलते हैं. जब फेविकॉल का जोर हटेगा, तब वो लोग बोलेंगे आजकल फेविकॉल लगा के रखे हैं. So
Yes, sir. I explained wrong in the next line. Actually, I just said that inflation increases and it will lead to increase in unemployment also. So it was wrong. I have to say that employment increases.
Yes.
So
why?
Here is the explanation is if a mild inflation is there in this economy of the country, so we have to produce more. We have to increase the production. And
why?
For more, because to fulfill the demands, because there is more demand in the, so if we have to produce more to fulfill the demands of the people, so we have to get large employment. We have to generate employment also, because we need manforce there, labor. So that's why it increases employment.
Okay, that's why there will be higher employment. Okay. Yeah, Janvi, one thing. Can you please send me your answer again? आज फिर से आप मुझे अपना आंसर दे देना.
Okay, sir.
Just after the class.
And I was saying that in Phillips curve, so actually there is more demand, which leads to more production, which leads to more employment generation. So that is why there's increase in it.
More investment will be there. So just we finish the class, just send me so that I will evaluate it. Okay. Chalo. Okay. So I think recession is clear. What are the different reasons because of which inflation comes? Guys, again I am repeating one thing, that you will have surprise test. ठीक है, surprise test होगा. Alright, class के time पे ही होगा. Okay, कभी आए class के लिए पता चला आज है test, ऐसा हो सकता है. So there will be surprise test. अरे ऐसे नहीं, ये तो मुझे भी पता है, ये तो पता ही है कि आपको पता होगा. Please explain. Okay. Please explain all these things. पानी दे देना यार शशिकांत.
So may I?
No, Kanchi, not you. बाकी लोग खोलिए अपना जरा, देखूं आप लोग कैसे बोलते हो. Can we know?
Do you want me to speak?
Yes, then only I will speak. Because the rest of the people have used, I believe, what Fevikwik.
Okay, shall I?
They have, yes, Sintuja, go ahead.
Okay, so like demand pull inflation because of the surge in prices with the increase in the demand, that's the purchasing power. And then the cost pull inflation because of the surge in the prices with the increase in the cost of production. And then capitalization because of the monopoly of like certain business class. So they fix like a price cap below which no one can like sell the product. And then because of structural inflation, where because of due to poor technology and old structure, the prices increases. So the time and the effort is more and costlier. And then because of hoarding, where the prices increases due to like stacking of the products and leading to demand in the market.
Great, absolutely. Okay, now who will explain me that what are the problems of what are the problems a country will face if inflation comes, if there will be inflation in the market? Except Kanchi, Janvi and Sindhuja, who will explain? Okay, no issue, Damini. I don't want to, I will not look into the chat box. Okay, I'll not look into it. So those who will explain, they have to unmute. Why should have? हाँ, सब लोग अभी me as well ये होता है ना, ये तभी होता है जब ऑप्शनल के बारे में पूछो, कोई क्वेश्चन हो ऑप्शनल से रिलेटेड, तो उस टाइम पे सबका ऑप्शनल ही चेंज हो जाता है. So नहीं सर, ये तो हम पढ़े ही नहीं है आज तक अपने जीवन में. Okay, so this is what that is happening. Our network. I was waiting for this. That who will say, who will reply, sir, I am facing network issue. है ना? See, we have one new theory that why inflation comes. ये तो हो गई वही बीजेपी वाली बात. बीजेपी से बोलो कि इन्फ्लेशन है, महंगाई है. तो महंगाई क्यों है? पंडित नेहरू के 15 अगस्त जो 1947 को लाल किला से जो उन्होंने भाषण दिया था, उसकी वजह से महंगाई है ना? So you guys are behaving like BJP, भारतीय जनता पार्टी. Are you guys the spokesperson of BJP? हाँ, जिनसे कुछ भी पूछो कि ये प्रॉब्लम है देश में, तो नेहरू जी की वजह से प्रॉब्लम है. ऐसा है क्या? तो मैं वेट ही कर रहा था, नेटवर्क इशू का अभी तक क्यों नहीं आया आपको. Okay, so finally Chatra has replied, so it's raining because of there is network issue. Subra has also mentioned the same thing. Okay, मणिकांका, आपका क्या है excuse? नेटवर्क इशू. ओके, सुनने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं होता है नेटवर्क को. सो नेटवर्क इज वेरी मच बायस्ड है ना, वेरी बायस्ड. सो नेटवर्क वोंट हैव एनी इशू, देयर विल बी नो नेटवर्क इशू व्हेन यू हैव टू हियर. Okay, but suddenly the network issue will be there when you will be asked to speak. So very biased approach, I must say. मैंने तो अभी तक जेंडर इनइक्वालिटी की थी, यहाँ पे हियरिंग और स्पीकिंग इनइक्वालिटी चल रही है. Online class atrocities. So I'll do one thing. I recommend the Plutus IAS to call you all offline. है ना, सबको ऑफलाइन बुलाता हूँ, फिर सबकी एक एक खबर लेता हूँ. Okay, I recommend the institute to do that. अरे इतना ईगर ऑनलाइन के लिए, ऑफलाइन के लिए. अरे बिल्कुल बैंड बजाएंगे, है ना. आप लोग बोलते ही नहीं हो, एकदम लगा करके फेविक्विक चिपका करके अपने होठों पे हो जाते हो. लिप बाम लगाया जाता है, फेविक्विक नहीं. अब क्या करें कांची, कांट हेल्प, वी हैव द कोविड सिचुएशन, है ना. ओके, तो बताओ मुझे, हु विल स्पीक एक्सेप्ट जानवी, कांची and Sindhuja? Who will speak the problems of high inflation? बताओ जल्दी, quickly. See, we have to revise. Then only I will move forward to our last topic, that is ways to measure inflation. कि inflation को किस तरीके से measure करना चाहिए. We will revise. Today we will clear your doubt, है ना? Because this is a very small topic. तो बताओ मुझे quickly. Today we will complete our inflation. बताओ. Because these things are very simple. अरे नहीं, chat box में नहीं चाहिए मुझे. I don't want this thing in chat box. Okay, so you have to unmute. बाकी सबके यहाँ पे बारिश हो रही है, ऐसी कौन सी बारिश है? Yes, we do not have enough time. बताओ जल्दी। Yes, sir. You have the
I was
guts.
having lunch.
Finally. Yes.
Okay, so I'll try, sir.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay. So during
And first of
inflation,
all, very good. You have the capacity to become an IAS officer. Okay. Rest of the people, they are simply the followers, not the leader. Chalo. Batao.
so during inflation, the demand will be high. Um, so actually, I'm confused a little bit, but if the demand is high, then the need for the commodity is also high. Then the supply will be less, so the import will be high. Then we have that BOP crisis.
In inflation, the problem of inflation, there
Yes, sir.
definitely BOP crisis will be there. Okay. What are the good aspects in other someone else? See, the thing is what? Why I'm asking each and everyone, because I'm not teaching to one individual. Okay, I'm not teaching to only Janvi. I'm not teaching only to Kanchi, okay, Sabna or Sindhuja. I'm teaching to all. Okay, and if you all are here in this particular class, so you have to reply no. है ना, एटलीस्ट ट्राई करो, नेटवर्क इशू देखा जाएगा क्या उस टाइम पे होता है, तो अगर होगा तो हम खुद ही बोल देंगे आपको कि ना मत बोलो, चुपचाप रहो, ठीक है। सो एटलीस्ट ट्राई, बी डोंट बी एनी फॉलोअर, फॉलोअर बन के मत रहो, चुपचाप बैठोगे ना तो पूरे जीवन भर फॉलोअर बन के रह जाओगे। सो डोंट बी अ फॉलोअर, बी अ लीडर, ओके। एंड एज एन आईएएस ऑफिसर दिस इज योर रिस्पांसिबिलिटी टू बी अ लीडर। फॉलोअर तो हर कोई भी बन जाता है, और आप मोस्ट ऑफ यू आर फॉलोअर ओनली इट सीम्स। चलो ठीक है, चलो let's discuss the last thing, the last top thing that we need to understand regarding how the inflation is being measured. Take the ways to measure the inflation. So guys, there are three ways by which you will be measuring the inflation. Okay, one is WPI, another one is CPI, WPI, CPI and GDP deflator. So these are the three things via which you will be measuring the inflation. महंगाई को measure करने का यही तरीका, तीन तरीके हैं, WPI, CPI, GDP deflator. So first of all, let's discuss about the WPI. Right? What is WPI? So the full form of WPI is Wholesale Price Index. Now, what do you understand by wholesale? Wholesale means that when you are selling, when the producer, okay, when the producer of a product is selling any particular commodity in large amount, okay, not to in bulk, not to the consumer, not to the consumer, but to anyone else except consumer. Okay, except consumer, if you can say, see, retailer, not retailer. Briganka, not to the retailer also, because from retailer, it's the product will be bought by the consumer only. There are two things. One is wholesaler, another one is retailer. Okay. So wholesaler, they do not have direct contact with consumer, whereas retailer, they have the direct contact. Okay. Retailer has the direct contact with the consumer. Clear? This is, but the wholesaler do not have the direct contact to the consumer. So wholesale, it's the wholesaler. Okay, so wholesale simply means when you are having the quantity in bulk. Okay, but not, you are not allowed to sell it to the consumer. From there, the consumer won't get the quantity from you. Okay, so this is the thing. You can say the distributor. Ab clear hua Kanchi aapko? Is this clear to you?
Could you repeat once? Actually, some issues are there.
Network issue.
Listening.
Okay, definitely I will repeat. Okay, I repeat. I'll be happy to repeat 100 times if you all continue to ask question. You know, this is the reason that I like 19th batch. लेकिन कभी कभी आप लोग बहुत ज्यादा इरिटेट भी कर देते हो, है ना? इरिटेट इन द सेंस बोलते ही नहीं हो, क्वेश्चन ही नहीं पूछते हो. दैट इज द ओनली प्रॉब्लम विथ यू गाइस. एकदम चुपचाप बैठे हैं बस. जितना क्वेश्चन पूछोगे ना और जितना ज्यादा इंटरेक्ट करने की कोशिश करोगे उतनी ज्यादा चीजें क्लियर होंगी आप लोगों को. देखो, होलसेल का मतलब क्या है? होल प्लस सेल. ओके, द वर्ड होलसेल किससे बना है? ये दो वर्ड से बना है, एक होल और एक सेल. ओके, तो होल मींस व्हाट? बल्क, isn't it? The quantity in bulk. So that is what we call here whole. So when the selling of bulk product is going on, sale of product in bulk, when there will be the sale of product in bulk, so that thing will be called as wholesale. ठीक. अब एक बात बताओ, आप लोग जब शॉपिंग करते हो तो बल्क में सामान खरीदते हो या फिर एक दो सामान खरीदते हो? बताइए. You purchase the commodity in bulk or in one, or you purchase the one or two product. क्या मिंत्रा पे जितने भी प्रोडक्ट हैं सबको खरीद डालते हो? नहीं खरीदते हो ना, है ना? ऐसा तो है नहीं कि मिंत्रा में पूरा जितना भी एक दिन में आया सारा आपने निपटा दिया एक दिन में खरीद के. एक दो करके खरीदते हो. ठीक है. सो जो होल प्रोडक्ट को खरीदता है, जो बल्क में प्रोडक्ट को खरीदता है, दे आर कॉल्ड एज होलसेलर. ओके. और जो इंसान एक कपड़ा खरीदता है, दो चीजें खरीदते हैं, वो कहलाते हैं हमारे रिटेलर. ठीक है. सो दिस इज द थिंग. सो होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स मेजर्स द गुड्स ऑफ गुड्स एट अ बल्क. ठीक है. ये बल्क पे, जहां पे होलसेल पे सेल किया जाता है ना, वहां पे.
Sir,
just a minute. See, suppose that this is our consumer, for example. ओके, ये कौन है? ये है हमारे कंज्यूमर. ठीक है. अब देखो, इस कंज्यूमर को क्या चाहिए? इस कंज्यूमर को चाहिए, लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल शूज. ठीक है. तो इस कंज्यूमर तक शूज पहुंचाने में क्या क्या लेयर्स होंगे, क्या क्या चीजें होंगे इन कंज्यूमर तक पहुंचाने में? तो सबसे पहले आएंगे हमारे प्रोड्यूसर, आएंगे दोज हु विल प्रोड्यूस द कमोडिटी, राइट? देन यहां से प्रोडक्शन से, प्रोड्यूसर के पास से द गुड्स विल मूव, है ना? गुड्स यहां पे जाएगा किसके पास? होलसेलर के पास. जहां पे सामान का क्या होगा? स्टोरिंग भी होगी. सामान विल बी स्टोर्ड फ्रॉम हियर. ठीक. यहां से फिर क्या होगा? शॉपकीपर के पास जाएगा, राइट? शॉपकीपर इज नोन एज रिटेलर. शॉपकीपर को हम क्या बोलेंगे? रिटेलर बोलेंगे. एंड finally the consumer will get the product from the retailer, that is shopkeeper. Okay, so these are the stages that will take place. So if you have to purchase one particular thing, so these are the stages that will take place. Retailer buys in bulk, but retailer actually sells the goods in a small quantity. No, it is about selling here. ओके, ये क्या कहते हैं? तो सेल करते हैं स्मॉल क्वांटिटी में, बट होलसेलर दे डू नॉट सेल द प्रोडक्ट इन स्मॉल क्वांटिटी. ओके, चलो. सो दीज आर द स्टेजेस दैट विल टेक प्लेस. सो होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स और होलसेल प्राइस इज दिस पर्टिकुलर इंडेक्स, ये जो हमारा होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स है, ये क्या करता है? दिस पर्टिकुलर इंडेक्स मेजर्स द इन्फ्लेशन एट दिस लेवल, दैट इज एट होलसेल लेवल. Is clear that what is the rate of inflation at this particular level? इस लेवल पे क्या है inflation का rate? So that's why this is the thing. And remember guys that wholesale price index is also called as headline inflation. Okay, this is also called as headline inflation. Is this clear कि wholesale क्या होता है और wholesale price index जो है ये कहां पे, कौन से लेवल पे इस टाइप के इन्फ्लेशन को मेजर किया जाता है? यहां तक क्लियर हुआ टू ऑल? चलो ठीक. या, यस, यस, गो अहेड.
yes, sir. Sir, it is clear, but want to ask one thing, that if there is inflation at wholesale level, so it will affect the retailer directly, right?
That will have an impact on the retailer. Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir, clear.
Yeah. अब देखो, see, now we are clear with it that wholesale price index measures the inflation at which stage, at which level. I'm coming to it, January. I'm coming to it. Okay. Now see, in the wholesale price index, it's the goods that will be measured only. At wholesale level, services are not measured, rather only goods are measured. ठीक है? This is what that you need to remember one thing. यहाँ पे क्या होगा, सिर्फ और हम मेजरमेंट किस चीज की करेंगे, हम गुड्स की मेजर करेंगे. So see, we have the inflation, we witness the inflation in both the things. We witness the inflation on goods also, we witness the inflation on services also, right? So here in the wholesale price index, we simply measure the inflation at goods only. ठीक है, ये चीज आप याद रखना. This is very important point. Okay, पहला चीज. दूसरा चीज, the wholesale price index are released every month. ठीक है, हर महीने होलसेल प्राइस को इंडेक्स को रिलीज किया जाता है. सी, आई एम वेरी मच एग्जाम पर्सपेक्टिव ओरिएंटेड. ठीक है, you have to orient it towards the examination only. You have to understand only those things that will come in your exam. Okay, and that will help you in scoring good marks. So this is only my concern. Okay, और यही चीजें हम बस डिस्कस करेंगे. सो देखो याद रखना, ये सब ना एक्सक्लूसिव इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं. डिस्क्लेमर आते हैं ना कोई भी मूवी से पहले, ये चीज है, ये चीज है, ये चीज है. सो देयर इज अ disclaimer that these are the most important thing. Okay, so please understand this thing and please remember this. Okay, if you will not remember this, you may not you may fail to score high, or you may not be able to solve the question if question comes. So please remember that the wholesale price index measures the goods only. It do not measure the other things, rather goods only. Sirf aur sirf goods ki hi measurement karta hai. First thing. What is the second thing that you need to remember? Second thing is that wholesale price index WPI is being measured every month. ठीक है, हर महीने इसकी मेजरमेंट होती है. समझ रहे हो? हर महीने इसे मेजर किया जाएगा. This is the second thing that you remember. Third thing, which is the most important thing that you need to remember, is that this particular thing, this WPI is being measured by Office of the Economic Advisor. ठीक है, जो इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर का जो ऑफिस है ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ प्रमोशन एंड इंडस्ट्री अंडर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री. सो दिस पर्टिकुलर मिनिस्ट्री इज रिस्पांसिबल फॉर मेजरिंग WPI. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस थिंग आल्सो. दिस इज आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट, especially from your prelims perspective, because WPI is important from your prelims perspective and this is important from your prelims perspective. Office of Economic Advisor. These things are already mentioned in PPT, no need to write. है ना, कुछ भी लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. पीपीटी में सारी चीजें अवेलेबल है. डू नॉट रन फ्रॉम पिलर टू पोस्ट. देखो मेरा काम क्या है, आपने प्लूटस आईएएस क्यों ज्वाइन किया है? यू हैव नॉट ज्वाइन द प्लूटस आईएएस टू इंक्रीज योर बर्डन, रादर यू हैव ज्वाइन द प्लूटस आईएएस टू डिक्रीज योर बर्डन. इजंट इट? इस चीज के लिए ज्वाइन किया है. काहे को भागना, है ना. यहाँ पे है एक्सप्लॉइट अस एज मच एज यू कैन. जितना एक्सप्लॉइट कर सकते हो करो, है ना, इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन. ठीक है, सो दिस पर्टिकुलर मिनिस्ट्री आपको याद रखना है. फोर्थ थिंग, ठीक है, चौथी चीज जो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज द बेस ईयर. नाउ आंसर मी, व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय बेस ईयर? बेस ईयर से क्या समझते हैं?
So it's like standard year that we take to compare, with. So with respect to that, we can compare the progress.
Definitely. The year which is chosen for comparative purposes. Okay. So the base year of WPI is 2011 to 12. ठीक है, इसका बेस ईयर क्या है 2011 to 12 इज द बेस ईयर ऑफ WPI. ओके, पांचवी चीज जो आपको याद रखनी है, दिस इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट नाउ, ये अभी उतना ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, बट फिर भी ये चीज जान लो कि ये बेस ईयर जो है चेंज हुआ है इन द ईयर 2017. ठीक है, 2017 में WPI के बेस ईयर को चेंज किया गया है. ठीक है, पहले बेस ईयर क्या था 2001 to 2. ओके, now the base year has been changed to 2011 to 12. Is this clear? So these are the 5 things that you need to remember. ये 5 चीजें हैं WPI में याद रखने वाली और आपको याद ये होना ही चाहिए. पहला चीज क्या, WPI क्या है? WPI is simply an indicator of inflation. It measures the inflation. ये इन्फ्लेशन को मेजर करता है. कैसे मेजर करता है कि पिछले साल बेस कितना इन्फ्लेशन था, आज के टाइम पे देख लो कितना इन्फ्लेशन है. कैसे मेजर करोगे? बेस ईयर से मेजर करोगे. ऑब्वियसली यू विल कंपेयर इट फ्रॉम द बेस ईयर. दिस इज द फर्स्ट थिंग. सेकंड थिंग इज दैट WPI मेजर्स द इन्फ्लेशन इन गुड्स ओनली. बहुत बार आपसे यूपीएससी ना कंफ्यूज कर देगा इसके चीज के लिए. इस चीज को तो एकदम रट्टा बांध करके, जो ये होता है ना घूटी पी लेना, घूटी को पी लो, दैट WPI मेजर्स द इन्फ्लेशन इन गुड्स ओनली, गुड्स ओनली, गुड्स ओनली, गुड्स ओनली. 50 बार रट्टा लगा लो. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज दैट WPI इन्फ्लेशन जो है ये रिलीज की जाती है. दिस इंडेक्स इज रिलीज्ड एवरी मंथ. हर महीने इस इंडेक्स को रिलीज किया जाता है. ठीक है, सो प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस थिंग आल्सो. ओके, व्हाट इज द अनदर थिंग? कंपाइल कौन करता है? तो कंपाइलेशन इज बीइंग डन अंडर द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री. और डिपार्टमेंट कौन सा रिस्पांसिबल है? ऑफिस ऑफ द इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट फॉर प्रमोशन एंड इंडस्ट्री एंड इंटरनल ट्रेड. ठीक, दिस इज द थिंग. उसके बाद क्या है? उसके बाद ये है आपका क्या बोलते हैं, हो गया सारी चीजें. बेस ईयर इज 2011 to 12. ऑलराइट, सो दीस आर द थिंग दैट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर. इज दिस क्लियर टिल नाउ? यहां तक क्लियर है चीजें? देखो, WPI और CPI इन्फ्लेशन में अगर यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम में ही क्वेश्चन पूछेगी, ठीक है, और किसी टॉपिक से और किसी पोर्शन से क्वेश्चन पूछेगी, तो यही है वेज टू मेजर इन्फ्लेशन. ठीक है, और इसमें भी सिर्फ और सिर्फ 2 चीज, WPI और CPI. इसके अलावा यूपीएससी नहीं जाएगी और नहीं जाती है. ठीक है, तो इसके लिए मैंने अपने इस नोट्स में एक्सटेंसिवली कवर करके दिया है. नोट्स से बाहर कुछ नहीं आएगा. एवरीथिंग इज रिटन. सॉरी, मैंने 2001 to 2 बोला था, लेकिन यहाँ पे 2004 to 5 है. ठीक है, so earlier previously the base year was 2004 to 5. okay, so नोट से बाहर कुछ नहीं आएगा, नोट्स को फॉलो करना. ठीक है, अच्छा एक बात बताओ, ये एक्सप्लेन करने से पहले मैं ये एक्सप्लेन कर दूं दैट व्हाई वी हैव द इन्फ्लेशन प्रेजेंटली. ये हमने डिस्कस किया था क्या कि हमारे यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट टाइम पे इन्फ्लेशन क्यों है? ये हैव वी डिस्कस दिस? क्योंकि ये तो आप खुद से भी पढ़ लोगे, है ना. You will read this on your own, क्योंकि मैंने इतना एक्सटेंसिवली आपका WPI और CPI और GDP डिफ्लेटर यहाँ पे ये किया है. ठीक है, कि खुद से भी पढ़ोगे तो भी क्लियर हो जाएगा. ठीक है, स्टिल इफ वी विल हैव टाइम देन वी विल डिस्कस दिस. तो मैं एक्सप्लेन भी कर दूंगा. पहले ये डिस्कस कर लेते हैं कि करंट का पार्ट क्या है, करंट में क्या चल रहा है. ओके, एंड वन मोर थिंग गाइस, फ्रॉम टुमारो ऑनवर्ड्स वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी. ठीक है, कल से अपन मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी पढ़ने वाले हैं. ठीक, so why we are having inflation? क्यों होता है इन्फ्लेशन? मतलब at present why we are having inflation, why we are facing inflation? What happened? And there are various reasons behind it. Okay, what are those reasons behind it? First of all, वेरियस तो नहीं है, कुछ रीजन है, 1-2 रीजंस है. पहला रीजन क्या है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, इन द ईयर 2020, ओके, इन द ईयर 2020 नेशन वाइड लॉकडाउन वाज इम्पोज्ड. ठीक है, लॉकडाउन लगा था. व्हाट वाज इन द लॉकडाउन? व्हाट वाज इन द नेशन वाइड लॉकडाउन? इन द नेशन वाइड लॉकडाउन, you know, there was all the factory was shut down. There was no production that took place. Production was low. ठीक है. Low production was there during that particular time in the year 2020. Why low production was there? Because of the shutdown. अब एक बात बताओ. So this is the first thing. So we do not have enough product in the market. If you do not have the high production, don't you think so that the quantity will come down? आएगा या नहीं आएगा बताओ. If you will have low production, quantity will come down. So this is the first reason. Okay, what is the second reason? What happened due to the lockdown? Our Article 19 was violated. What is Article 19? What is Article 19? Freedom of speech and expression. And what is more, how it is related to this particular topic? यहाँ से कैसे related है? There is more thing in Article 19. Absolutely correct, Janvi. Movement, freedom of movement, isn't it? So this particular thing was curtailed or not in the lockdown? This particular thing was also curtailed, that people cannot move from one place to another. Now see, if there is a restriction on the movement, right? Don't you think so that will disturb the supply chain? Supply chain will get disturbed or not? So according to RBI, this is the main reason, okay, behind inflation, okay, that the supply chain is hurt, because of which India is witnessing the inflation presently above 6%. Okay, India is witnessing inflation above 6% because of the supply chain disruptions. Okay, according to RBI, this is the reason that RBI has given, that why there is inflation in the India at present, why it is above 6%. So it is because of, as the nationwide lockdown was imposed, so due to that nationwide lockdown, the supply chain got disturbed, due to which India is facing and witnessing inflation. Is this clear? Is this clear or not? Batao jaldi.
So
Yeah, yes, Kachi, go ahead.
Sir, but both these points are not contradictory, because in first point you are saying that low production was there, and in second point
उस टाइम पे प्रोडक्शन लो हुआ है ना, लेकिन उससे पहले तो प्रोडक्शन हो रखा था ना. क्या उसका मूवमेंट हो पाया, या फिर लो ही अगर हुआ है तो जो भी प्रोडक्ट है एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे जा पाए?
Okay.
Are you getting my point? If the production is low, that is also one of the impact. Supply is also restricted. Even if you have the product, you are not able to supply. So that is also one of the reason. And according to RBI, this is the main reason. Why? Because they were free. Few things was not that much restricted, isn't it? Everything was not shut down. Essential commodities was not restricted, right? So that is the thing. But supply shock was there because there was no movement of goods and services. That was the thing. Yeah. Chalo. What is the third thing? Price in the petroleum. Price rise in petroleum products. Okay.
Currently, the inflation of India is in double digits, right? Like it's 10.5 or something as of 2021, I think.
From which perspective you are saying? In which data you are getting? Yeah.
Which data? Like the inflation, normal general inflation I'm talking about. The one which we were referring to. Mm-hmm.
So is this the thing that RBI has mentioned, or any economist or any newspaper has?
Yeah, economic.
See, but according to RBI, it is above 6%. It is not in the double digit.
Okay.
So this is the thing. See, we have to believe only on the government source only. Okay, because we have to quote that. We cannot say that the Hindu paper has said this, the Indian Express has said this. Okay, so this is the thing. We have to solely rely on the government data. Whatever government will say, we will take this. Yes, this is correct. Okay, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Okay, like this. Yahi hai. Yahi apne ko follow karna, like this. Okay, so there is a price rise in the petroleum products. Okay, so due to price rise, if the petroleum product will rise, then how it will impact the inflation? Can you explain? Can anyone explain this? If there is a price rise, if the price is rising in the petroleum product, then how it will increase the inflation? Can anyone explain this? बोल के एक्सप्लेन करो, लिखने में टाइम जाता है और टाइम वेस्ट होता है. बताओ quickly. My question is how price rise in petroleum. If the price of petroleum products has risen, then how it will be supporting inflation to rise? How it will support the inflation? If the petroleum products are in if there is inflation in the petroleum product, अगर petroleum product का price बढ़ा तो कैसे होगा?
So because for petroleum there is high demand because everyone has the vehicle and cars and all.
I'm not asking that why petroleum price has risen. And my question is that if there is a price rise in the petroleum product, then how it will be, how it will influence the inflation in other products? This is my question. Absolutely, Janvi. That is very, very good. Okay.
And because that rise in wages and expenses of general.
अब एक बात बताओ ना, suppose that this is Bihar, okay, और यहाँ पे कुछ प्रोड्यूस हुआ है ना, प्रोडक्शन हैज टेकन प्लेस, बिहार से आना है दिल्ली, तो क्या हम बजरंगबली तो है नहीं कि उठाएंगे और जय श्री राम करते हुए चले आएंगे, है ना? मूवमेंट होगी, किस चीज से मूवमेंट होगी? व्हीकल से मूवमेंट होगी, ठीक है? और व्हीकल हवा पे तो चलेगा नहीं, उसमें क्या लगता है? पेट्रोल लगता है, पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स पे मेनली चलते हैं, है ना? पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स पे ही चलते हैं ना व्हीकल। अब एक बात बताओ, पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स अगर महंगा है तो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट विल इंक्रीज, पर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट क्या ओनर अपने पॉकेट से देगा? That has to be bear. No, who will bear the transportation cost? That's the public, that's the consumer who will eventually bear it, isn't it? So that the transportation cost will also be beared by the consumer. So if there is an increase in the transportation cost, so it is undoubtedly inflation will rise. ठीक है, तब तो क्या होगा ना, प्रोडक्ट का जो प्राइस है उस प्रोडक्ट का प्राइस भी बढ़ेगा. Okay, so these four are the main reasons that why we are having inflation, why inflation is high in the market. ठीक है, हमारे यहाँ पे हाई क्यों है इन्फ्लेशन, ये चार चीजें. इज दिस क्लियर? बताइए, ये क्लियर हुआ that why we are having, why India is witnessing inflation at this point of time? Petroleum product, Chatra, the rise in the petroleum product has led to price rise in the commodity. Okay? चलो, तो ये आप याद रखना WPI के बारे में. ओके, क्विकली देख लेते हैं CPI. WPI को एक और चीज आपके नोट्स में मेंशन नहीं है, WPI इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज हेडलाइन इन्फ्लेशन, ये आप प्लीज मेंशन कर लेना, तो ठीक है. ओके, प्लीज मेंशन दिस थिंग इन योर नोट्स. Now, let's quickly look at the consumer price index. Can we, it's a long thing. Can we discuss this particular topic in our next class? That why government hike? Because that will take time and we do not have enough time. Right? I have taken a more time in explaining inflation chapter. Right? So this is, I believe, the eighth day, okay, in which we are discussing the inflation only. Okay, so I want to complete this. Yeah, tax mainly. Now see, consumer price index. See, consumer price index CPI. It is also called as retail inflation. ठीक है, इसको हम रिटेल इन्फ्लेशन भी बोलते हैं. कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज रिटेल इन्फ्लेशन. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस. ठीक है, इस चीज को ये भी याद रखना कि इसे हम रिटेल इन्फ्लेशन भी बोलते हैं. व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट थिंग? नेक्स्ट थिंग इज दैट CPI मेजर्स बोथ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. ठीक है, ये दोनों गुड्स को भी और सर्विसेज को भी ये मेजर करता है. ठीक है, बोथ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज आर मेजर्ड. Okay, that is the thing. Third thing that you need to remember is that who calculates the CPI? That is being calculated by NSO, National Statistics Office. Okay, so NSO calculates the CPI inflation. अब देखो, confuse मत होना. पहले जो था, previously there were two departments under Ministry of Statistics. Okay, the department was, one was Central Statistics Office, another one was NSSO. लेकिन अब क्या हुआ है, NSSO and Central CSO, Central Statistics Office, both department has been clubbed and renamed as National Statistics Office. Okay, so the national, और ये गूगल पे जब आप सर्च करोगे तब आपको अलग अलग दिखाएगा, क्योंकि उन लोगों ने अपडेट करके नहीं रखा है, ठीक है. So now the department has been merged under which ministry? Ministry कौन है? Ministry बताओ मुझे quickly. I have already, not labor, Janvi. Ministry is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. ठीक है? Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation basically measures the inflation. देखो CPI inflation जो है ये गुड्स और सर्विसेज दोनों को करता है, ठीक है. तो सर्विस में इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर भी आते हैं, ठीक है, रूरल वर्कर भी आते हैं, अर्बन वर्कर भी आते हैं. तो CPI इसलिए अलग अलग निकालता है. CPI IW, CPI rural, CPI urban. Okay, all those things are calculated separately. ठीक है, ये सारी चीजों को हम सेपरेटली कैलकुलेट करते हैं. CPI इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर हो गया, CPI रूरल हो गया, CPI अर्बन हो गया, बिकॉज बोथ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज आर मेजर्ड इन कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स. रिमेंबर दिस. Next point, and very important point, please pay attention that government uses CPI inflation to measure inflation. गवर्नमेंट को अगर इन्फ्लेशन डेटा कोट करना पड़ता है, ठीक है, तो गवर्नमेंट और RBI कौन से डेटा को लेती है इन्फ्लेशन को बताने के लिए? गवर्नमेंट यूजेस द CPI डेटा, कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स डेटा. इज दिस क्लियर? ये समझे कि गवर्नमेंट कौन से डेटा को लेती है. सो गवर्नमेंट, प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट गाइस. और ये जो है सी रंगराजन थे, ठीक है. पहले हमारा क्या होता था, इनिशियली गवर्नमेंट यूज्ड टू मेजर WPI, गवर्नमेंट यूज्ड टू कैलकुलेट द इन्फ्लेशन फ्रॉम WPI, बट सी रंगराजन कमेटी ने रिकमेंड किया, नॉट सी रंगराजन, सॉरी, सी रंगराजन ने नहीं, उर्जित पटेल, ठीक है, उर्जित पटेल कमेटी ने रिकमेंड किया. दिस थिंग इज नॉट मेंशन्ड इन योर, आई बिलीव आपके नोट्स में शायद ये मेंशन नहीं है, ठीक है. तो इस चीज को प्लीज लिख लेना, दैट उर्जित पटेल कमेटी recommended that instead of using WPI, ठीक है, instead of taking WPI, please take consumer price index as a way to explain the inflation. ठीक है, CPI को लेना चाहिए इन्फ्लेशन को बताने के लिए, ठीक है. That has been recommended by Urjit Patel committee. Is this clear? ये क्लियर हुआ? बताइए. Another thing is that the base year, okay, the base year of CPI is 2012. That is the base year. ठीक है, CPI का ये क्या है, बेस ईयर 2012 है, ये चीज याद रखना आप. इज दिस क्लियर? यहां तक क्लियर हुआ? रेस्ट ऑफ द चीजें पता है नोट्स में अच्छे से दिया हुआ है. I have explained this thing in your notes very clearly. यहाँ से पढ़ोगे सारी चीजें समझ में आ जाएगी, आपको कहीं और जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, ठीक है. ना CPI के लिए, ना WPI के लिए, ना GDP डिफ्लेटर के लिए, किसी भी चीज के लिए जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. CPI, one more thing, ठीक है, one more thing is that CPI is also measured on monthly basis. इसको भी अपन मंथली बेसिस पे करते हैं. GDP डिफ्लेटर जो होता है, CPI has impact on everyone, goods and services, दोनों पे, goods and services हम दोनों कैलकुलेट करते हैं. Remember one thing, both CPI and WPI both are calculated on monthly basis, whereas GDP deflator calculated on quarterly basis. ठीक है, GDP deflator को हम क्वार्टरली बेसिस पे कैलकुलेट करते हैं, CPI और WPI को मंथली बेसिस पे कैलकुलेट करते हैं. Yes, Kanchi.
Sir, I want to ask that WPI, like wholesale price index, if there is inflation at wholesale level, so it impacts on retailers. Okay. So if there is if there is inflation at consumers level, so it will impact on whom?
It will have an impact on consumer, because who will purchase from the retailer? That's the consumer.
Okay, that's why we also called it retail inflation.
Yes. ठीक है.
We can also call it price index.
Sorry.
We can also call CPI as retail price index.
Retail price index, absolutely.
Okay, clear.
You can call it. ठीक है, चलो Eventually it's the consumer who has to warn this, isn't it? Eventually that is the thing, right? Chalo then, on this note, we are done with the inflation. From our next class, we will start the monetary policy. ठीक है? Next class से हम monetary policy discuss करेंगे. Is this clear? Inflation समझ में आया सबको? बताइए. Inflation अब तो बता दोगे ना कि inflation क्यों आता है, किस वजह से आता है, right? किस तरीके से calculate करेंगे? Solve कर लोगे सारे questions? That we will see in our test paper. ठीक है, टेस्ट में हम डिस्कस देखेंगे कि सॉल्व कर पाते हैं या नहीं कर पाते. Alright then guys, let's stop it here. Okay, let's end our session for today. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to start the most important class. Remember this, these are simply the trailer of your economy. Picture अभी बाकी है. And from tomorrow onwards, we are going to discuss the topic from where UPSC asks the maximum question. अगर UPSC 20 क्वेश्चन पूछती है ना, तो 20 क्वेश्चन में से 8 क्वेश्चन जो टॉपिक से जिस टॉपिक से आएगा, ठीक है, दैट टॉपिक वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस फ्रॉम टुमारो ऑनवर्ड्स. ऑलराइट गाइस, so yes Janvi, please resend your answer again. Okay, so from tomorrow onwards be attentive. All right, so done for today. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.